Honestly, I'm at the point in my life where I can't even tell my friends whether I'm seeing someone or casually dating because I'm so excited about it and I tell them everything, and then 2 weeks later they're like, what happened to Brad? And I'm like, who the fuck's Brad?
I'm sick and tired of getting myself cute, doing my makeup, get told we're gonna meet, get told we're gonna go on a date, and then it never happening. I haven't gotten past the texting phase. I have 27 guys that have matched with me that I've never met in person.
Men who look at the bill too long are broke.
When I first saw this, it actually, believe it or not, gave me reassurance. Reassurance that I probably never will put a wedding ring on this other finger. All kidding aside, are you freaking kidding me? If you actually take the time to look at how long it takes a man to pay the bill when it comes, you have serious problems and you should probably be in a mental institution. If they take too long, they can't afford me. She literally calls herself an object for sale. Like, you must be a complete and total idiot if that is what you're going to say in 2022.
Something, now I need my toe fixed. I want to eat Benihana's today, not Taco Bell. Like, and just once I want to do this, do that, then that. Like, it's gonna just hurt him in his pockets instead of that lie he told me earlier. Like, damn. So either way, he's gonna pay for it. She dumb if she believe it. Like, I don't really know what to say about that one. But me, I believe stuff too, but because I'm gonna get something out of it. Either I'm gonna believe this lie, I'm gonna get some good dick. I'm gonna play dumb, get a shopping spree when I wake up. Like, life is gonna go good for me after you tell this dumbass lie. I'm about to do you in right after this.
How do you plan on keeping men interested in you once your looks begin to fade?
Because me, I have a good heart. Like, if I have a good heart, believe it or not, I am.
Thing that guys do when you can tell that they don't find you attractive.
I have so many stories from when I lived with two sorority girls. It's ridiculous. But my favorite was when we would go out to bars together. And, they were two very skinny, beautiful sorority girls. So guys would approach them and offer to buy everyone shots. But I forgot that since I was the ugly fat friend who was just there for comedic support, that didn't include me. And it was so funny to me when my friends would point it out and be like, hey, are you not going to buy her a shot? Just the look of absolute disgust and annoyance that ascended onto these men's faces. They wished I was never born. It was hilarious.
Being considered ugly for men is not the same as being considered ugly for women. Although beauty is considered to be subjective based on the person, the reality is that most people are really superficial, and they tend to lean towards objectively attractive people, especially in this generation of peacockers who lack any real substance. That added in with the fact that the average person is more okay with simply pretending like they're doing better than they actually are. Because men are such visual creatures, all women really have to do is make their outward appearance look better to raise their value. But what a lot of women don't understand is when you only raise this aspect of the perception of the value, it doesn't actually make more men want you, it just makes more men want to sleep with you. It's one of the biggest reasons why you have so many swipes on Tinder, but you've been single for 3 years. And in fact, the men that do want you and have deemed you attractive enough to put up with, you don't want simply because they put more work into trying to please you than actually being themselves. And in fact, if more guys were just assholes, they would probably get a higher percentage of the women that they go after. And the most ridiculous part about this reality is that most people cultivate their personalities in social settings in elementary, middle, and high school. And because middle school is usually around the time that women start realizing that they can use their attractiveness to their advantage to get other boys to do things that they want them to do, they tend to stop emotionally maturing after they get to a point and their attractiveness that allows them to get away with most of the things they do and ask for. And they usually don't take into consideration the fact that it's only because they're a girl and they're hot. That is until they get to an age where their looks are no longer paying the bills. Now, before I continue, we need to understand that the average woman hits the wall at about 30. The wall being the average age in which your attractions start to dwindle. Now, keep in mind that average does not mean everybody. And frankly, that average is really just based on a woman's ability to have a child. Because once you hit 30, every year after that, your ability to have a child becomes more dangerous and less likely. And although that does play a role in a woman's depreciating value when she becomes less fertile, solely basing your value on the way that you look is a game of roulette. Simply because America is the fattest country in the world and growing. And when it comes to physical attractiveness, more and more women are hitting the wall at a younger age. Because a lot of them aren't retaining it past having a child. A lot of you were only hot in college. And I don't know about any of you, but every girl I had a crush on in high school plateaued just a couple years after we graduated. And when your entire personality is solely based off of the way that you look, once you lose those looks, you lose any remnant of what you would have brought to the table in the first place. And a lot of women don't seem to understand that your looks will get you in the door, but your personality will keep you there. But too many women nowadays don't even know what that looks like. And they wait until they're old and less attractive to even ask themselves that question. And honestly, if a wet wipe can take you from a 10 to a 2, it might be in your best interest to stop using guys for your own personal gain, especially when you're at the height of your own sexual attractiveness. Because once those looks fade, so do your options. Remember, your perceived status is why she's walking up to you, but her physical attraction is why you're walking up to her. And understanding that there are more facets of growth when it comes to that aspect, in regards to the attractiveness of men, it's a much greater advantage in the long run, even though it takes a lot longer to master. But that's only if you're willing to work on yourself first. Because if you're just waiting around assuming that eventually you're gonna have the upper hand in some overaged, ran through chick, I promise you that the tables aren't gonna turn like you think they are. So work on yourself, become something worth wanting, and I'll see you in the next one.